never been a game like Ark of War. And I'm hosted today, I'm co-hosted today by Ridiculous Badger himself. He is the director of the Discord. Camera showing there slouch either, and they were able to but so late. Greetings, Commanders! I just wanted to make you smile this morning. We've got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, there's some elephants in the room, but most importantly, Galactic Battle Season 12, NYCCHN, the first Galactic Battle of the season, January 2021. There's a couple things going on. Obviously, I have been not around as much. I'm actually still here. I'm still online and email, and you'll catch me on Discord here and there. But I've got some distractions I'll talk about and explain to everyone wondering, because I think that's like something I just can't ignore. People, where have you been? What have you been doing? Why? I do have answers. And we'll get to that. But most importantly, we've got to talk about the players today, right? NYC. Former NYC was first off, NYC is a storied guild on their own. But as these galactic battles for the last year and a half have gone... Uh-oh. Someone said quiet. Mic check. We good? Okay, we're going to keep going like as if we're good, because according to my specs, everything's good. NYC has been a merging super guild that it was always a super guild. CHN, I think they've been a pretty well-known guild for a while, but they were also a merging super guild. It's not the first time we've seen, right, multiple guilds come together to join these super fleets of the biggest spenders to make the biggest, army, war fleet, whatever you want to call it. This is the first. I would say, in a sense, it is the first truly super fleet where each guild represents at least 3, maybe 6 major guilds. And in those servers that they've migrated to, at least 3 other guilds full of their former guildmates that came along the way or ultimately got left behind. That was one of the problems with the migration, is that it forced players to seek new I'm reading chat. Sorry, Outlaw. Outlaw, how you doing? It forced people to seek new servers if they wanted more action or to play with the best players, but in the process, leaving players behind. Players that were barely hanging on, or players that only liked the social aspect. Servers would keep consolidating their most active players. And it's in a sense, it's kind of killed the game, but it's also a necessary part of the game. The migration feature is part of the server merge feature, right? Remember, every day a server's made, people play the server for a week to 2 weeks, and then there's a forced migration. When that happens, players do get left behind, but their idea is merge everyone and hope the active players stay, and they're kind of applying the same rules to server merge, server migration tactics. So NYC is composed of, NYC Lichilung, which is like we'll go to the history here. Galactic Battle Season 11 is TN1, a super mega fleet. You look at the top 4 guilds: Win, CHN, TN1, NYC. Win and NYC are now the same guild. Well, mostly, right? Sorry, guys. It is almost 4 in the morning here. It took a little bit to get up. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the American stock market, which is affecting everyone globally because the American stock market is traded all around the globe. And there's before and after market hour trading, and it's getting pretty wild. We might cover that for a little bit here. I'm supposed to have Uberox. Uberox is supposed to be here. We talked about doing the stream, and what did he say? I didn't know. He asked me if I would be interested in doing a co-hosted live stream. I said, yes, absolutely. Would love to do it with you. Maybe we'll run like a dual stream so that we both can, get people on his platform and my platform. As long as he's making Ark of War content, or anyone's making Ark of War content, I want to get eyes on them, especially because I've been gone for so long. Battle starts in 45 seconds. Fire just showed up, says we're getting ready. Fire's going to be in the thick of it. Good luck, Fire. Keep that ping down. Keep those actions fast. I am so excited. There's so much to talk about as far as what Galactic Battle has turned into. And I think I don't want to say this is a farewell stream, right? I don't actually intend to quit Ark of War. You can see my account. My account continues to grow. It's just that there are reasons why I haven't been playing. And mostly, I honestly need a scapegoat. I'm just going to blame COVID. COVID changed everything. When I had to start working from home and I got to spend the majority of time with my kids instead of just sitting at work twiddling my thumbs at my desk going, what's new on the internet? That was my Ark of War time. My free time now, it's in the living room. Anyway, we'll go into that in more depth. The Galactic Battle Season 12 has begun. We can now jump in and we can wait for the game to begin. So there is a 10-minute cooldown period. Once again, spectators 10, people are jumping in. 6 hours Galactic Battle. I can tell you right now, I will not be live streaming the entire 6-hour battle. I'm probably good for about 2 hours of it. It's going to be interesting to see. Usually in the first hour to half hour, it's decided. But with 2 super fleets, it could get a little weird. So, we'll see. I'm going to try and maximize my screen here. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so I was having issues maximizing it. Sometimes there's like screen flickers. Yeah, we threw out a greetings, commanders. It's been a while. I missed you guys, like legitimate. Like one of my favorite things to do in 2021, 2020, my entire life has been learning Ark of War, being able to rip it down to a nice presentable package, and then just be able to share that knowledge with people. I met so many awesome people along the way. I still continue to meet awesome people along the way. And I certainly do miss doing the video portion of it. But, personal life, current situation, it doesn't make a lot of sense to devote as much attention to Ark of War as I have in the past. I mean, as far as family's concerned, my son is 2 now, right? He's actually a bit older. 2 years and a few months. I got a 8-month-old, 7-month-old daughter, and I'm at home every day. I'm in California. We're still in lockdown. You might be living it up, in Texas or Arizona, and you forget. California, don't leave your house, and if you do, you got to wear 2 masks. You think I'm joking? I am not joking. 2 weeks to stop the curve. 2 weeks. Listen, I think the problem with COVID complaining is that there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of true stories of tragedy and death. So I don't want to go there. I'll just say that we're doing our best to comply with the guidelines. But of course, we're still trying to keep our sanity. Let's just end it there. All right, so I don't know. Do I need to cover anything else on that? Ubrox might show up. He might not. I got Discord open. He can message me, and we'll be able to throw him in there, and that'll be a good time. I want to mention in the chat below, guys, even if you're watching this on the VOD later on today or tomorrow or 6 months from now, check in the description below. There are constantly new content creators. Pickles hit me up, said he was making commander cards. I think it was in the Discord. He hit me up in line. You remember those commander card images I'd make? It had the breakdown of the gear and the skills and what the commanders use for in the current meta, what troops. Yeah, he's making those. And then, there's been other creators. Natsu is making some videos. I don't know who's still active in the Ark of War community because, like I said, and I'm probably going to sound like a broken record as people keep joining into this later and later and later. It's like my free time just isn't on Ark of War, right? I'm still working the same job, but my business interests have expanded. So my free time, my hobby time, I'm just going to do what I want time, a lot of that was at my workplace office, right? I had specified things I have to do. There are certain things that I have to be obliged to when I'm in the office. But if no one's knocking on my door and I've got free time in the office, I just leave Ark of War open, right? If I'm on a call, I leave Ark of War open, right? If I'm working on an email chain, I'm waiting for the next response, I got Ark of War open, right? And that was a lot of how I learned to play this game, how I learned to socialize, how I was active online and everything, being able to communicate with everyone. Once COVID hit and the babies were born, all that free time, those gaps, I got the boy. I got the girl. It's hard to go back into Ark of War knowing that this style of the gameplay, especially in the position of my account, is also very stagnant. And in order to do anything exciting, I would have to make tremendous financial moves, right, to change my army over. So there's not much of an incentive there, right? Like switching my troops over one type to the other, switching my gear over one type to the other. I'm basically pigeonholed into playing one character because of my gear. And not necessarily, I know how easy it is to change. I shouldn't say that because I'm the kind of guy that's supposed to tell people how easy it is to change. But the truth is it's not that desire to want to. It's like the other play styles really aren't my style, and the server-side conflicts aren't that good. Honestly, my guild, my majority of my war fleet is over here now and in my sea. These are my ride or die, homies, man. These are the true heroes of the game for me, right? These are the guys that I idolized for 2, 3, 4 years, and they may be remnants of some of the guys that quit, but other guys stayed behind, like JDB, right? He's really, to me, he's Vicious and Eversor. Vicious and Eversor led my first real PvP, hardcore PvP guild, where we rallied up and overcame the Chinese warlord. And I wasn't even on their server at that time, their guild at that time. I watched them, the barbarians, the former leaders of their server, get merged into us with this big Chinese boss player. And their tiny little guild overcame our super spending Chinese player and took Centicon. It took them a while. But they kind of got me on board that, like, this game can be special. And the only remnant of that is Everstore still comes around. The guy's a legend. And JDB is still around. Active PvPer, 6v6er, 5v5er. So, there's, in every player, I see 5 other players. Remember Outlaw, Leela? I mean, there's just a history in Ark of War that I don't want to be lost. Hopefully we did enough videos that people can go back and, remember little periods here and there. And hopefully, if COVID does go away and I get stuck back in the office, I'll probably pick it up again. It's one of the easiest things to do in what I do. So anyway, I need to read. I need to be better about reading chat. James is here. How's it going, James? I'm alive. I'm doing good. Deranged is here. Oh, my. Of course Deranged is here. Deranged is in the fight. This man is a legend. Deranged. Guys, all eyes on Deranged. Remember, if you're not sure what's going on with Ark of War, the late game meta, the early game meta. You can always check Discord line, find Deranged. This man's in the know. And I shouldn't say just Deranged, right? I should offload that to Brabe, Splinter. Check the comments right now on the channel, because those are the guys that are super active in helping people get the knowledge they need to know to play this game. Because at face value, this game doesn't offer much. You just gotta play. All right, I'm gonna check. Going back to Galactic Battle Season 12. We are about to begin here. We have 2.5 more minutes here. And right now, CHN has more ships in the battle. Every 5 minutes, or I thought it was 10 minutes, you get points for the amount of ships you have on the battlefield, and based on their level as well. CHN has more points going into the battle. This is not a significant amount of points because you get passive points as the game goes on. And back in the day, if you were even down 1 point, it forced you to go on the offense. These fleets have their own plans. 1,000 points isn't going to be major. So in about 2 minutes here, we're going to be seeing fireworks. You're going to see probably... So there's new strategies for Galactic Battle that most of you guys probably aren't familiar with, and probably including myself, that I'll be talking about things that are maybe even outdated. But NYC and Win and many of these super fleets have battle coordinators, Ender's Game style, right? One guy that controls 4 guys. Those 4 guys control 12 guys each, and maybe more, maybe it's 8 guys. I don't know. Anyway, everyone's structured out to different tasks, right? You have like a Juggernaut class, a group of guys that consistently go and jump over the border, attack ships, disrupt the wall, try to get through the wall. They will form like a needle and try to crush through if there's a tough resistance wall. We're gonna see that kind of like a wall-in StarCraft. Let's start the StarCraft references. Kirky Kirkham's in the chat. How you doing? God, man, miss you guys. Okay, remember the watchtowers are going to be important for vision, right? The watchtowers kind of let you see over the wall so that you can at least get a ship to the spot you need to be to start attacking. Admittedly, I don't remember. I don't remember if the watchtower is enough to let you attack. I don't believe it is. Right? Let me double check here. Let's get to the halfway point. There's the base. There's the scout outpost, right? The watchtower. So the scout outpost and then the 2 bases. So here's one base on the bottom here. I know it's crazy to see, but it's right here, right? Right over there. Okay. Little blue bit. And then up here is the red tower. So the halfway point is where this scout tower is. One is going to be on your side. One is on the enemy side. So here are the 2 scout towers, left and right. We are in the dead center of the map. I know spatially this is a bit confusing. But essentially, you want to get the scout tower on your side at least, and hopefully the scout tower on their side. He who controls the sky... There it is! He who controls the scout tower controls the early vision and the choices of the aggressor. If you don't have the scout tower, it's hard to be aggressive because they can just keep spotting you. If you have the scout tower, you can see them. They can't see you. Wow, look at this. Keb coming in strong. Tier 11? Oh, God. I think that's tier 12 plus. Keb going nut. Wait, what? Is that an elf with tier 12 plus? Why does that not seem right to me? Okay, wow. Okay, well, let's just jump right into replays. Commanders we're expecting to see. All the major commanders are expected to be... Oh, shoot. Click the wrong button, dummy. All the main commanders are expected to be seen. Elves, Gillies, Bladers. Do we expect to see Wang? Probably not Wang, but we will be seeing War Machine. So let's go into the world chat here. Who got the first replay out? Oh, Gan's back in here. All right, of course Gan's in here. All right. Gan, longest fan favorite of the channel. I've been preaching Gan's name for a long time. Absolute legend of the community. Helped with this merge. Oh, Dad Gan and Kia, and there's a list of other people that helped with this merge, and including Deranged and his squad. Shout out to Clever, right? Clever's been one of those original Deranged guys. Original ZGL guys, excuse me. All right, don't forget to give away your points here. That Roger coming out strong. It's not a Ranger replay, right? That's a meme. Oh. Okay, hold on. Forget everything I said. Keb, max leadership. God, Keb, what have you been doing? Did he buy a new account? Keb must have bought a new account because he was an infantry guy, right? No way he switched over to Walker. I don't know. Maybe he went big on GME. Oh, Okay. Okay. Didn't hit that hard. 2 defense comms with the healing troops in the front and then specialized troops in the back. Rogers going with attack damage troops and Elf going with tear space troops. I don't hate either one of these setups, right? Kind of tankier healing troops in the front with a specialized troop in the back. Ark of War has always tried to sell us to play multiple troop types, and it never really worked out. So now they're telling us to play multiple troop types, but just of the same class, right? So just if your airships run airships, just run different versions. The SWE didn't work out with 2 different troop types. That only worked with T11, T9, stuff like that. So now it's use the new Tier 12 healing troops in the front because they can take damage and they recover, and then use something in the back that does more damage. So Elf using the Tier 12 HP troops does tear space damage off of her HP build. Look at that heal go off. Very nice. And then Rogers doing the Tier 12 attack troops in his back row, which is going to really benefit his Tyrant Cometh. And I'm sure some penetration gear. He probably could have gone tear space here. It just depends on the build. Rogers has always been strange in that regard, where everyone's always played him with tankier Tier 12 tear space troops because he's a tank commander at heart. He just wants to live, right? Putting the attack troops on him didn't make a lot of sense because it didn't really hit that hard most of the time. But as this game developed, penetration became more available to Rogers. His Tyrant Cometh is absolutely combat damage based. So there were some things lending credence to why you would build Rogers with attack troops instead of, or attack damage instead of just HP damage or tear space damage. Yeah, that was always a weird thing about Rogers is people wanted to put double eternal barriers on him, right, to shield him up to make him unbreakable. But they didn't have tear space yet. So these Rogers would get in these fights where it was just 2 boxers fighting with giant pillows on their hands. And then Rogers would start putting 1 Tyrant on, or 1 Titan. Titan, yeah. Just a reminder, it's still 4 in the morning here, okay? I'm working off very few hours of sleep. So now it's looks like people are still doing the 1 attack damage or more penetration style build. Anyway, this is going to go on forever. I'm just going to fast forward this. And it looks like Kia does come out on the top here. Neither one of them truly ending. Let's go into a GAN replay and then we'll refresh. GAN, what do you got for us? Tier 12. Okay, Crush on Rogers. Interesting. So 4th skill Rogers is Crush. Wow, big triggers. But look at his opponent. He's got he's got Black and Deadshot, Raymond's skill. So Black probably running the best offense, and yeah, no. Of course he runs the best offense. That's his skill. But Lady and Beast skill. What's it called? It's gonna happen right now. Wait a minute. No, he's got Deadshot. Deadshot, battle season. Deadshot. Why? Isn't that Raymond's skill too? Deadshot. All right, we're going to check real quick. Because, yeah, Black's thing was he would go the best offense with Lady and Beast's Feral Strength. Oh, God. Destructive Power. And if he missed, then if he had the best offense running, his defense actually turns into more damage, and he would just do ridiculous amounts of damage in penetration gear. That was one of the early things we found out with Season 12. But he's running a guaranteed hit skill, just Deadshot. So Rogers is able to pick up Crush from Golem. Black able to pick up Deadshot from Rogers. Yeah, Misko's kind of helping me out. I'm still there. I still log into Ark of War every week. My activity level's low, so I haven't forgotten everything. But yeah, I certainly have forgotten a lot. But yeah, Rogers already gone immune. Black is going to slowly get dwindled down. Probably wanted the Tier 12 healing troops in the front instead of the defense troops. But then again, I don't know, man. I don't like the new troops so much. I think they have a place to play. I think infantry finally got a healing commander. I don't know if they're tanky enough. We're going to find out. Fast forward, GAN takes down the win. Congrats to GAN. We're going to give him both of our deluxe arcs because I've got so many of them. 3, 2, 2. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Peanut saying Odad's still going. What's his power again? Oh, I'm sure Odad's still going. But I don't know what his power is. God, we should cover that. That's a big deal, man. Odad, the biggest spender in Ark of War history, without exception, right? No one's even close to GAN spending. GAN is, he's up there, right? He's at 2.7 billion. I don't know if GAN has spent $1 million US yet. But I got a suspicion Odad has. I got a suspicion. And I want to point out that all of these players at this high level that have been in this community for this long, all absolute gentlemen, right? Many of them, maybe a little more discreet about things than others, but absolutely one of the best communities of players I've definitely ever been a part of. And it's a gentleman's club, right? I mean, ladies too, but these aren't 15-year-old kids talking trash in their mom's basement. All these guys, in order to get this high in the game, generally are pretty well off financially and a lot of free time, and kind of had an interest in a weird strategy game that no one else had figured out. That was really what the draw was for me, right? Originally, early on, was trying to figure this thing out. It didn't make a lot of sense. There was no tutorials. The help desk situation wasn't really going in our favor. So, that's kind of the start. That gave us a start. Where do we go from here? How do we learn to play this game and start manipulating it and giving yourself an advantage when you don't have to outspend, or when you're trying to not outspend everyone else on the server. And if anyone spotted Odad, please. Oh, wait a minute. Did he change his name? Wait a minute. Okay, hold on a second. No. 4.8 billion, but Odad has a space in his name now. Okay. Yeah, so that's funny. Odad has a space next to his name. A lot of my favorite people here. Thor, Brave, Deadpool. Man, missed you guys. Voodoo works so hard for the guild. Okay, where are we at in the strategy of this game? Sometimes it's nice to have a co-host because they will help kind of direct the action and kind of remind me to pay attention, because I feel like I could talk about anything right now. All right, so what are we seeing? Dragon Slayer, 1 slot, 1, 2, 3, 4 slot bus coming through. Deranged Elf holding the line. Wow, him and Keb have bought into that elf build. I'm sure it's probably the best in the game right now. We got our NYC player running the new infantry heal troops with War Machine. I like this build. This is, I think, how the developers wanted him to play. I'd like to see that replay. Orochi making his debut. Wondering what 4th skill Orochi's running. Interesting. Orochi has that Menderbot heal, which can get through... what's the main thing we worry about? Steam cannon, right? Like Elf's heal. It can just lay on the ground and you can steam cannon him all you want, and he can heal at the end of the round either way if he survives. CHN, on the other hand, still running this elf build. This is the must go-to elf build. I mean, it makes sense. I don't think we're changing the meta anyway here, but it is nice to see that it is confirmed this is the elf build to do, which makes sense. It's a heal build. And I owe you guys a video on that, and that's just how that goes. We'll get there. Ishimura! What's up, man? Dude, Ishimura is one of the legends, the original legends. He was there for God, Eversor, Vicious. Ishimura ran God after Eversor and Vicious left. I don't know if he still does. I thought he might have sold his account, but he might still be around. Morning, Skywalker. Morning. What else do we going on? What else do we have going on here? Should we check some replays? Let's check some replays. All right, Keb's replay was pretty good. Gans was good. A's not so good. Brave's got a replay for us. Let's check that out. Okay, Brave. Neko Sniper. Is he still running the penetration Neko Sniper build? God, Brave maxing out. Wings of Eternity. Power Sagittarius. Give me a big hit. Yeah, he's working off Wings of Eternity at this point. So, he's going to do okay here because Hancock's S-Class. Hancock's going to pop slot number 3. And then, I don't know, he might not lose anything here. Let's go ahead and fast forward it. Oh my, didn't lose but 2 Rangers and took out a whole slot. Well done. Way to go, Brave. Man, that Nekajiro getting work done, man. Still representing Nekajiro. All right, Kia's running the Tank Stella build. Whoa. Hold on a second. Hold up. Is this a pacifist replay? Not a single troop died. Get out of here. How do I take away awards? Kia, you're on the loser list today. At least a Ranger replay has some death in it. Kia sent in a replay that has no kill in it. Can't believe you, Kia. I was just talking about how great you've been for the guild and the community and what you've done. And then you go send us what's worse than a Ranger replay? A 0 death replay. for those of you wondering how that happens, if you attack into somebody, actually, I'm sorry, if you're garrisoning yourself and you have other people garrisoning you and someone attacks into you, they will hit the armies in front of your army. And slot 1 had a ranger, right? So the ranger died in the first battle, but the attacker still won. So then the attacker carries on to the next defender, but the ranger from the last fight's dead. So slot 1 has 0 troops. So the defender has first strike. He gets to attack first. Thus, no death in the second attack. So there was a death in the first attack, right? Because he was going through a wall of guys. We just didn't get to see it. All right, so we'll let him out on a warning because we knew there was a war there. I don't know why we're letting him off of anything. Like, we have to answer to anybody. Port Authority wants a word with you, Kia. They are a little concerned about your last battle. There's no one to answer to. We do what we want here. It's 4 a.m. We can do whatever we want. Ay. So, I'm going to have to probably repeat this once or twice more. But for those of you just joining the stream and you're wondering, Melt, where have you been? I've been here. I haven't gone anywhere. Haven't gotten COVID. Haven't had a need to leave. You're wondering why I haven't been filming as much, why I haven't been doing meme review as much. It's just my interests are... My free time really is gone, right? My free time is gone. It's dedicated now to what I deem more important, right? Children. All my free time, when I used to dig into Ark of War, it was because I was stuck at work, right? Stuck at work. I got to look at something, browse the internet, keep Ark of War open. Since COVID, I've been stuck at home where I can work in my workshop and play with my kids in the living room. So just generally, my interests have gone into newer hobbies, different things, more exciting things I've never done before. And it's been really hard to get back into the Ark of War thing because I'm really excited about these new things I'm doing, right? My personal life, business life has changed. And it's not a never for Ark of War. I mean, if they called me back into the office tomorrow, trust me, we'd be doing Ark of War again. But for now, there's a lot of opportunities and just things I have to do, right? As a young father, I think older guys will understand. Younger guys will probably just be like, play the game. Play the game, Melt. You got free time. We know you do. We got free time. Play the game. Make videos, Melt. You know, there's of course there's time, but I can always play Ark of War. But I can't hear my son sing ABCs for the very first time every day. You know, that was I got to do that. Got to hear my son sing ABCs for the very first time when I tucked him in 2 nights ago. I sing him a song every night. He usually doesn't sing back to me. Sometimes he tries. But 2 nights ago, he sung ABCs back and actually went start to finish. And he's 2, so it didn't sound very good. But he got the song. He got most of the vowels out. And it was a special moment. It was like one of those rosebuds, you know? Like it happened. And I was like, oh, this just happened. I'll be thinking about this for a long time to come. Of course, he'll be doing a lot of things that I'll remember more than just the first time he gutturally said ABCs to me. But I would have missed that if I was filming a video. If wife did bedtime every night, I would have missed that. Anyway, Sweet Hancock, of course, makes the rounds. Brave is getting some work done. Good for him. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's things like that mostly have made me like comfortable with not filming and doing as much Ark of War because I know that I don't get those years back. So, yeah. Oh, the kids start, man. When the kids start rolling over, then they start trying to kick off with their feet, and you see them, you're looking down at them. They're just little worms, Just little worms. All they do is eat and poop. But that sounds so bad. But no, when they start to kick off, you could take your hand and put it on their foot, and they start to kick off, and then they actually get forward, and it startles them. They're like, oh, I've learned how to move forward. And they go to do it again, and your hand's not there, and they don't know what happened. But then, yeah, you push their legs down, and they start figuring it out, man. It's really cool. Special thing, man, children. Very special. But, all right, let's get back to Ark of War Galactic Battle Season 12. This feels more like a social chat. I guess it is, but watchtowers should be owned by each team. Remember, it only takes a half hour to take a... Whoa. Something happened here. 1 day, 23 hours is not right. There we go. 8 hours. What? Are we locked out here? Says 1 day, 24 hours to hold that. So that's not right. Maybe that was the watchtower. That was the watchtower. No, this is a scout outpost. So still fighting for vision. NYC doing an excellent job of actually holding it successfully. I never gave my prediction on who I think is going to win, but the answer is I think NYC, and here's why. Gan is a gorgeous, handsome man. He's beautiful and intelligent, and I want to meet him someday. I just wanted to say that, so if he's ever listening, I can make it super awkward for him. But anyway, no, I just think that the organization level of Kia as a war leader and the other main tribal factions that comprise NYC have done an incredible job with diplomacy and organization and dealing with the egos that came in for this merge. They did a wonderful job on it, and they do truly have the most ambitious and organized players in the game. And I know them personally. I know this personally. And that's probably one of the main reasons I'm not in NYC. They invited me. They invited me as an honorary member. But over the last year, I haven't been as big as everyone, growing as fast as everyone, or as competitive as everyone. I'm more of just like, hey, we want you to be here because we like you and you're helpful. But there's also 2 or 3 other guilds full of players kind of like me. Guys that are super, or I should say better than me, right? More super active, more growth in their accounts. But they're the guys coming up to increase their own guilds and then perhaps join the major guild, the Galactic Battle Guild. Some of these guys will go back to their server and go into their smaller guilds, their family guilds, which is still a thing. I'm trying to, when I say things, I don't want to like offend anyone, because there are people in those other guilds that I would have been in that definitely deserve to be in NYC. Right? There's more to being to be in the main guild than just having a max leadership commander. It's calling out orders to the other players. It's setting up the timings for certain marches to get to the outpost. If you're trying to clear a particular person that has a ridiculous like max statted, geared out, max leadership Rogers or whatever, you need a specific march for that. Yeah, being in Win was my favorite part of playing the game. Yeah, how long were you in Win for? I think Peanut. Is that Steven? I thought that was Steven. Okay. So Lando is doing a good job of reminding me what's what here. He's saying NYC will have it soon. Let me see. Trying to dig this out. I just want to say, oh, Ned! What's up, Ned? Drop Dead Ned. Oh, God. What was the name of the guy with the helmet on his head? I gotta Google it. It's Australian Ned. Hold on. There's this, like, Italian... Ned Kelly. There's an Australian folk hero that's a real guy. He's like Machine Gun Kelly, I suppose, or I don't know. What are the legendary American outlaws? Jesse James? Anyway, Ned Kelly, look him up. Amazing. Anyway, so NYC should be on the offensive here. And I just want to say, I want to point out that I have gone 45 minutes. I'm already 45 minutes into the stream? Jesus. No, it can't be. I think we kicked off with 5 minutes. Anyway, 20 minutes into the stream, I have not mentioned GameStop. So, I think we're doing good there. And if you don't know what GameStop is, if you haven't been watching the stock market, you missed out on something legendary. I wouldn't even say you missed out. I'm a retard. Don't take financial advice from me. But today we're going to see the most ridiculous action. And a lot of the call options are set for next week, the week after, and all the way into April. So this may go on. But because of how absurd it's gotten, they started limiting trading yesterday on certain platforms. Robinhood, even E-Trade came in, slowed it down. Webull disabled GME trading and other meme stocks. But then they did re-allow it. So we'll see if E-Trade re-allowed it. I think they did. But it's been doubling every night, peaking in the morning, going down throughout the afternoon, doubling at night, and just this vicious cycle has continued. So Yeah, GameStop crashes every night, but it just recovers in the after hours. It's the biggest little guy versus big guy play ever, but it's really just the other big fish. Big fish eat big fish too. Hedge fund managers are buying up these stocks too to eat up other hedge funds. You know what I mean? Like big fish like eating little fish, but really the big fish like eating the big fish too when they get a chance. Yeah. So yeah, some of them are going to limit the exchanges, and people think that it's market manipulation and it's helpful to the hedge fund losing money. And I think that maybe you have an argument there, but realistically, these clearinghouses have to provide the money, right? So if you sell a bunch of shares of GameStop and you make say $50,000, and you and a million people make 2.5 million people joined the Wall Street Bets subreddit in the last day. It doubled in a day. 2.5 million people. You look at the amount of volume of GameStop moving. It's not just a couple hundred people or 1,000 people. It's millions of people trading GameStop. Millions. It's the most ridiculous part of. I mean, it's absurd. Anyway, the clearinghouses have to fund. You know what? I don't know enough about the inner. I've read a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and the bottom line is these exchanges like Robinhood, they don't have the borrowing power of Ameritrade and what's the other one, E-Trade and not Merrill Lynch. I don't know, the TD Ameritrade. Some of these bigger exchanges to cover the amount of profits they're going to be calling in from GameStop or whoever is selling these shares. Because if the money's not there at the end of the day, Robinhood or whatever these accounts are going to say, we owe you 150 grand because you sold that stock at the right time. But we couldn't get the 150 grand from so-and-so. So you can sue us. Our insurance ain't going to cover it because there's a million people suing us. I think their idea is that they're trying to limit the exchange of those securities, despite letting everyone do it everywhere else. They're just like, listen, we just can't. We can't cover it because we don't think they can cover it. I don't know. There's a lot to it. Anyway, let's get back to the battle here. I need to check the timers. And 12 minutes left. NYC making a huge push. Oh, shit. CHN. Oh, CHN. What is going on? Have they given up? Oh, back to Ark of War. CHN on the left-hand side. I feel bad because, there's some really hard-working players right now working harder than everyone else to jump around and speed hit people and break the line. And I'm not giving them any credit at all because one major problem with Ark of War is the response times are so slow. Yeah, like CHN's holding it, but nothing's really there. Response times are so slow. The map and fleet movement is not very dynamic live in the action. NYC holding their own base. Look at that, Nick Wang hanging out. Way to go, Nick Wang. What a dweeb. Look at this guy. I mean, he looks like a stock trader from the 90s where they used to have the big, early 2000s, big BlackBerry headpiece on. Hello, everyone. I'm important. That's what Nick Wang looks like. His name's Wang. Doesn't even look like a Wang. All right. Let's see. All right, looking at NYC here. We got a Stella tank build. Love it. King. Odad's King. Look at this. Sui tier 11 build. I'm assuming that's a Sui build. Right? Penetration Sui build. And a couple Rogers. Now, this is not many troops. Here comes the tack. Uh-oh. Okay. That's some big marches. Hey, guys, you got to restock. There you go. Refilling right on cue. Well, I'm excited. I was hoping this battle wouldn't go on 6 hours because there was no way I was going to be able to do it. I am all eyes on the market. I want to see what happens today. It's just a historic day, and we'll see what happens. So, really looking forward to it. Keb, Gan, A. These are the three replays that are the first ones that came out. Braves got one. Got a deranged one. Let's check deranged out. I mentioned in the chat earlier, he mentioned check out some of his. Okay. Looks like he's down some troops, so he's risking less. Look at him, classic elf skin versus zombie elf skin. Problem is he can't heal back to 2,000 troops a slot because he didn't start with that. So his max starting amount is less than the other guys. So, okay, Hercules set comes in. Wow, elf with Hercules, very strong, right? Doesn't let that curse damage go off. Right, same with her. Okay, and, well, I guess resistance is good, but super immunity is better. So now Deranged won't be able to take any curse damage, and only half of Elf's troops can do tear space damage. Of course, she doesn't do any combat damage, really. So this is going to be a long one, huh? Steam Cannon will clear it. Wow, okay. That's right, Steam Cannon. Uh-oh, and Deranged doesn't have Steam Cannon. But you can still run Cassiopeia. Wait, maybe that's what he's running. I might have missed it. Yeah, he's running. So Steam Cannon versus Steam Cannon. Cassiopeia versus Cassiopeia. Some Hercules. Well, I mean, are we really expecting Deranged to win this? He's not supposed to win this. All right, we're going to fast forward it. Yeah, okay, well, he probably killed more troops. But yeah, it's a defense battle with 2 healing troops in the front. Deranged's got another one here. Steam Cannon, okay. Okay, I like this. For Deranged, obviously, he's just bigger than the other guy. Was this the same guy? No, because Deranged has more troops this time, so this is a different battle. So I have a similar march, different battle. Wait, got the curse off. Did get the curse off. And then he also hit a Steam Cannon. What if he cursed him and then Steam Cannoned it off? That's not a thing, by the way. It doesn't work. But yeah, fast forward in that too. Yeah, well done. I actually don't play consoles. I have been a PC gamer my entire life. Never bought a PlayStation. I mean, I have a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4. I played it just for Grand Theft Auto when I couldn't get it on PC because it launched on console years before PC. And I've played like some games on console with friends and stuff, golf games and whatever else. If anything, I think I played the most Nintendo Switch if I played a console, right? I played Animal Farm, the fucking stupid farm game. COVID started. I was playing that stupid-ass game. And then Breath of the Wild, Zelda. Played that with the wife for like 50 hours every night, me and her. It was fun. I haven't really picked it up anything since. Yeah, the new cell phone games, Call of Duty and Warzone or whatever, Fall Guys, all the cell phone games, Among Us, I didn't really play. I may have downloaded them, played them once or twice. I was like, if I'm going to play games on my cell phone, I'm going to play Ark of War. There's just more in it for me, more skin in the game. So, no, I never really took off on mobile gaming. The funny thing is, I think I've said this a few times, I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer in the sense that, like, I want to just try a video game out and just play it for 4 hours and just see how good it is. Like, I like art and I like good stories and I like when developers create things, but like in general, I don't like dabbling into something unless I know what I'm getting myself into, because I have a very embracive personality, obsessive personality. Once I'm into something, I go hard. I don't stop. It consumes me. It's my next thing. And like, I have these rosebud moments too with my next obsessions. Like, I remember when I got hooked on Ark of War. I remember when I got hooked on golf. I remember when I got hooked on fishing. I remember I got hooked on golf club building. I remember I got just hooked on making YouTube videos. I remember all these days very specifically because I've been doing this my whole life. When my mind says, hey, this is the next thing, figure this out, that's it. I don't stop thinking about it. It just nonstop. Here we go all day. And then at nighttime, I have to like shut my brain off. And I've developed a lot of cool strategies to do that. But man, once I go down a road of something, I'm afraid to like even consider things that I might be interested in if I don't want them a part of my life. Because if I get hooked on it, it could be 3 months, it could be 3 years before I get into something else. So I'm kind of careful about where I let my eyes wander. So new games I try to stay away from. Ark of War got me, but it was fascinating. I learned so much, and it took me down a really cool road, and I met a lot of cool people, and it was a big puzzle to solve. It was just a puzzle to me. Ark of War was always like, why does this... I just want to put the whole thing together. Once I understood how the whole Ark of War picture works, how the commanders, the troops, the gear, the idea of where the developers wanted the game to go, then I could start looking at builds objectively and saying, this is going to work for the future, this is going to work right now. This doesn't work, or this partially works, like the Rogers combat build. Like, no one ever built Rogers with 0 damage, and you didn't want to build him with too much damage, because that Tyrant Cometh really did play a factor in the combat damage portion of the battle, and then Titans. Anyway, let's get back to the battle. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. It's early. Give me a break, guys. Fun fact, I'm on my job and my boss is with me watching the stream. Shout out to Manolis and his boss watching the stream. CHN does have the point lead. So even though NYC is holding the capital, CHN does have the point lead. Now, that's expected. The attacker generally is in trouble, right? And that's what happens. NYC is attacking into CHN. So CHN has the defender's advantage and they're up in points, which is what you want. Now, you can have a position where you are the defender, you're being attacked, and you're still down points, which means you are screwed. They are crushing you. So technically, if the game ended right now, CHN would win, right? They're up in points. But it's a 6-hour battle. This ain't going to end in 6 hours. This is 3 hours left on this left-hand side. And I want you guys to notice something different about this Galactic Battle lineup than we've ever had in Galactic Battles. Do you notice there's no weenies? One of the weird things about Ark War is we used to have to run weenies to give us time to switch marches. Not in this battle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, max leadership, max march, very highly specialized, max geared out commanders. 10. Not 20, not 30, not 50. They could easily do it. In fact, they could just put a call out on the Discord, send your main to left, and you would see 60 units show up in less than 10 seconds, right? That's how organized these fleets are. But they only want 10. Because at 10, that gives them at least a minute and a half to switch out to whatever they specifically need, which they don't at this point because they have the perfect mix there. But it's just, we used to have weenies to like take away first strike or give us time to switch armies because you only had 1 or 2 guys with boss commanders. Not in this battle. Everyone's maxed out. I mean, may as well be, or damn near close to it. Everyone's maxed out, so we don't need weenies. They just need the right lineups, the right marches. Every march is something different. There's no triple of the same march in a row. You're talking about organized badasses firing on all cylinders, and rightfully so. They need to have been, right? This is NYC's first Galactic Battles as a super fleet. Not to say NYC wasn't already a super guild, but they did add Win to their lineup this season. And other guilds. I'm sure it's not just Win, right? I'm sure there's a few others. Check in the chat below because I know I'm going to miss their guild name and they're going to be mad at me. ZGL gets a shout out even though they were part of Win more recently. Remember, Win also absorbed guilds. So you've got a guilds absorbing guilds who have absorbed guilds. All right. Peanut asking, who's War Machine? Yeah, War Machine's new. The enemy left, Melt? Rizel said the enemy left. Oh, if the match is over, then the live stream is over. And that means I get to move back into the market. Actually, it's 4:45. I might go back to bed. Not going to lie, I've been getting up early every morning. For those of you wondering, I'm probably going to go hard in the stock market for a while. I mean, I've always played the stock market ever since I was probably 20. I've had my E-Trade account is 15 years old, 14 years old. Never any real serious money. Just the money I saved to set aside, put a little in there, buy a little this, buy a little that. But with what's going on right now with GME and understanding how markets work, I've been digging deep into the stock market, how it works, trying to build the entire puzzle. I want to have the knowledge to just be like, this is how a clearinghouse works. This is the history of clearinghouses. This is why they exist, and this is what they do wrong. This is what they do right, and here's why. I want to be able to have that general simplified knowledge. I'll get it, just like everything else. Once I dig in, I will find it. But I think I'm gonna do that for a while because that's something I could do anywhere, anytime on my phone or with my book or at my house with my son, without my son. But also I've got some business stuff I'm doing, like the new office for the streaming channel, and part of my new acquisition is I'm picking up retail space in the commercial purchase, and that was going to be the office for my filming and stuff. Still going to be my office. Still might keep the YouTube channel going. First off, I do not want to lose my YouTube channel. You guys, I've had so much fun with all the people in this channel that I feel special because I found people that have my level of crazy or pretty damn close to it. And through my life in social media, I never was very successful at Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, and I didn't even know how to measure success. I just saw what other people were doing, and I'm like, why are these people so popular? Why? Why do people want to follow them? Why don't people think what I'm doing is interesting? I do interesting things. I mean, I can carry a conversation. I can hold a room. I could talk to a crowd of 100 people and get them going. I have no fear of entertaining people. That is like something I just do naturally. Diamond hands in front of a group of people, throwing some memes in there. But I didn't have success on Facebook, Twitter, or any of these things. And the reason was, it's not because I didn't have content that wasn't good. I just had content for the wrong people. Right? I mean, I'm comparing myself to a girl that's a famous Instagram, or, some hot chick at our school in college that had Instagram or Facebook early on. It's like, why is she so special? It's like, dude, the guys just want to see pictures of her in her bikini, and the girls just want to get makeup tips from her and see how she does her makeup that day. No one really cares what she's doing. She has nothing insightful to say. But once I started playing Ark of War, I found you crazy assholes, basically sitting around the same pool of money, sitting around the same education level, sitting around the same amount of free time, and all asking ourselves the same question. How the fuck does this work? and that's it. That's kind of how it begun. So I don't know, I kind of feel like I finally found my people, So it's like, you could be successful at social media at anything you want, If you're a basket weaver and, you're interesting and you have content to share, you're going to do really well if you make a YouTube channel for basket weavers and target people that like basket weaving. Go to schools that have basket weaving teaching. Go to, I don't know, mom and pop shop. Just get your name out there. You could grow a following of people that are going to watch your videos and go, yo, this guy weaves a mean basket. But if you go put your basket weaving show on Facebook to all the people you grew up with, family members and people you went to high school with, no one's going to give a shit. They're going to treat you like crap. They're going to say, why are you weaving baskets? They don't understand. Those aren't your people, man. For every 1,000 people out there, there's probably only one of them that's like a really good match that could like be a good friend of yours. And 1 in a million is like a best friend. You just got to find those people. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's early in the morning. I'm sitting on a podium telling people that I just don't lose your friends. I don't want to lose this channel because I feel like whatever my next thing is, I'll be able to just kick the channel back off and be like, guys, how you been? What are you up to? Did anyone have new kids? Congratulations. Okay. This is what I've been doing. What do you guys think of this? I want to have that. I don't want to give that away. I worked really hard to be able to meet all you guys. I feel like we're all going to be in similar places. So, anyway. Yeah, James saying we're all a bunch of nuts that wouldn't normally make... But it's also we wouldn't normally find each other, right? Peanut, I'm not jumping on the GameStop train. I prefer long-term investments. Dude, I prefer long-term safe investments that make sense. The stock market is day trading. There's a lot of negative things to say, a lot of risks to be said. But this GameStop thing, this is something different. I mean, it happens to be a stock. It happens to be day traded. But this is a bloodbath. It's not even the same thing. Like, you could take $1,000. You know what? I got to be careful what I say here. Yeah, I don't want to say anything. Okay. Some people are doubling their position every hour. Some people are doubling their position every day. You can take a small portion and just go up 30% in an afternoon. It's almost guaranteed. Every day it's gone up 50% to 100% every day. Check the stock market. Every morning it doubles or goes up 50%. Usually ends above at the end of the day. Yesterday it didn't. It was like the first gamma squeeze. But it's just not. It's unheard of, man. You buy a stock and you lose a few pennies on it, you're down. You're not selling. You might be stuck with it for a couple days, a couple hours, a couple weeks. And that's okay for long-term investing. You wanted to put the money in a company you believe in. If you buy and they're down within 10 minutes, you feel bad, but it's like you didn't put it in there to pull it out in 2 minutes unless you're a day trader. And that's not how I do my trading. So I just put money in, walk away. That was my thing always. But with GameStop, it's kind of like, hey, take this money. This money right here, this money is just house money now. Whatever you make with this money, put it back in. Let it ride. Bet on black. Flip a coin. Bet on black. Flip a coin. Bet on black. Flip a coin. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. That's like the madness of GameStop. That's like the iconic, I want to be a day trader. I want to double my money every trade. It's unheard of, but it's happening. No, it's not. Got to be careful. I'm a retard. Don't listen to me about financial advice. But yeah, that's the kind of madness we're talking about here. So, everyone watches the mainstream media that gets an opinion. Oh, these kids don't know what they're doing. They're going to get burnt. We have to protect them. It's like, no, man. They shorted a shock 138% of the shares that even had available. They sold 138% undervalued of GameStop when there was only 100% to share in the first place? How did they do that? How is that even legal? It is. And people called it. People called the options, man. People bought the stock. It's going to get wild. It's going to get absolutely. Do you think the bloodbath is over? It hasn't even started. Hasn't even started. You think it's going to end today? Wait till Monday. When all these contracts get exercised and they force the sales of all these stocks, you can go see the call options right now. You want to see the call options? I'll pull it up for you. No one gives a shit, huh? All right, well, I want to do that because this galactic battle's basically over. So, I don't know. They're still here, man, but I think they got the left side, right? Yeah, Stronghold's been destroyed. NYC has the lead. That should be the end of the battle. Usually first one to take that wins. But you want to see the call options for January 29th? In the money right now. Remember, the market doesn't open for another hour and a half. So in the money is actually $300, not $190. So all these, even probably to $320, every single call that exists on the open market right now is in the money. It's unheard of. Do you want to see how many calls are at $320? I don't know how much they bid for those calls. It could be $400. But when it gets over $500, you're going to have 7,800 contracts at 100 shares apiece pop off. And that's only it's only 700,000 shares, which is not that big of a deal compared to what it's actually trading at. But if they execute it, right, at the end of the day and wait and let the sales force the sale. Because if you sell a contract that goes off the market price, if you execute it, they actually have to buy the stocks and give them to you and let you hold them even longer. A lot of people are, getting scared about that. But long story short is whatever you see volume here, you just multiply it by 10. So you see 9,000 shares. It's really, I'm sorry, by 100. That's what is that? 900,000. Yeah. So there's just today alone, there's probably going to be 10 million sells. They're not going to exercise these, but anyway, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's just going to be hedge funds bleeding like crazy. Anyway, I don't know why we're still going on about that. Obviously, that's my morning. So I want to watch this. I want to watch the streams on it. I want to watch the experts break it down. I like hearing the old school experts that are like reassuring people that are like, hey, can they just freeze the trading and selling? And the old school guys are like, well, they absolutely cannot freeze the selling. That would be extremely illegal and be a huge problem. But they could freeze the buying, which is kind of what they did yesterday. Drax talking about AMC. I don't hate AMC, but it's hard to. It's a meme stock, right? You're not really betting on the viability of AMC. No one thinks movie theaters are going to make a recovery in the next few months, or even a year for that matter, right? The business model of movie theaters is a dying business model. It has been for a long time. People have flat screens and streaming right into their own home now. Why, if you're paying for internet and a flat screen, why are you paying to go out and see a movie? It's like, oh, I like popcorn and dates. Yeah, me too. But there's Netflix and chill is a lot easier to get laid than, AMC at 9 a.m. and then walking home in the cold at 1:30 and trying to get her to come home with you. Not to say that's like a strategy, but like, I don't know. The movie theaters just doesn't. It's not a booming industry. Let's just say that. If you're looking for booming industry, look at space tech and innovation, software, stuff like that. Anyway, so NYC pushing the right-hand side. Yeah, people are buying in on AMC because it's just heavily shorted. They're trying to do what they did to GameStop, and it's kind of working because there's a ton of interest on it, and it's artificial value. And I'm not going to tell people not to invest in it. Listen, if you like the company, buy. If you like the stock, buy it, baby. Do I like the stock? No. I like that it's a meme stock and it's throwing the market in chaos, and that parasitic hedge funds that overshort companies and obliterate them. See, no one talks about the little guy. GameStop has been a gaming staple for our generation. Now, I don't do consoles. I don't do brick and mortar retail stores like that. But I have gone to GameStop for slick deals and Funko Pops and exclusive promos. I've gone into GameStop and I always liked them, man. There's always some guy there that's like a hardcore gamer that's probably played most of the games. They sell used games. They buy used games. GameStop's cool, man. We don't want to lose GameStop. And they started selling Magic cards too. And I'm a big supporter of Magic cards. But there's no reason GameStop has to go away, right? We still need a store where a dad can go in with his son and say, here, son, here's 70 different games to choose from. Let's play one of them tonight. No one just wants to go on Steam and go, look at this thumbnail. They want to grab the game, look at the game. The son wants to go, this is the one, Daddy. And Daddy takes it to the register and he holds it in his hand and he goes in the truck and they drive home and they get home and they say, Mommy, put the Hot Pockets in the microwave. Me and Daddy are playing Tekken, you know? And that's like, you think, oh, that's not me. I don't have a son. There's a lot of people who do, man. And they'll pay the premiums that GameStop asked for. And what happened? All these hedge funds were shorting it, man. Shorting it, saying, it's not worth this. It's not worth this. Buy this contract. If it goes up, we'll give you extra money. But it ain't worth it. They shorted the shit out of it. They screwed GameStop. You don't think that's... Guys, you're here for Ark of War. I want to say I'm glad you guys are here. But you can tell it's pretty early in the morning. Kind of passionate about this. And I got to be careful what I say about markets, GameStop, and my opinion on it. So we'll just stop it right there. Just stop it right there. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, what happened in GME, I think, and I don't want to give anyone too much credit, but, you know, the Wall Street Bet subreddit, that really pushed this thing. Uh-oh. My trade confirmation is ready. Are you kidding me right now? I'm so worried that E-Trade is going to try and like force me to make sales that I don't want to make. I heard some crazy stuff yesterday that people were being forced out of positions, and I was like, that's no way. You can't be forced out of a position. It's your property. But I don't actually know if that's true. What is going on here? Guys, I gotta give me a second here. Okay. Okay, cool. I don't know what that was about, but it scared the shit out of me. Okay, I thought it forced me out of a position. Guys, I just want to say I think this battle is coming to an end, and I need to get back on the train and have some fun, because my day has just begun. My week has been going. The culmination of my entire week came down to this right now. The next 12 hours. So, yeah, I mean, that's just ultimately what this is. I shouldn't even have done this live stream. I should have been staying on this. January 29th, 2021 will be the next, I don't know, stock market crash of 2008. The market's going to have to step in. There will be regulation, because this thing is to be turned into such a blood... And hold on. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's going to be fun. I know. People are like, what are you talking about? Told you guys. I'm like hardcore in on this right now. This has consumed me this week. But I think this is it, man. I think NYC's got it. I think we can pretty much wrap it up. CHN still has players in the game, but I don't think they're going to be able to mount an offensive. Once you have that left side stronghold, you have full vision of your opponent's left-hand side of the map. Remember, these guys are playing with a fog of war. Half the map is darked out. The other half is visible to them. Look at this, man. These black builds, these must have really become popular, because 3 out of 4 marches is this black build. I'm happy to point out that we featured that build on our channel. Was it Vader that invented it? Someone invented it or came up with the concept, and we were like, hey, this can finally work. And he did some replays, and I told him, I was like, hey, I want to feature this on the channel. This thing's good. And that build, it really took off. But it wasn't my idea. But that was the point of being the community hub, right? Someone has a good idea, I could show it off and show the world and look at it. Now he's a main commander. I mean, not to say that people wouldn't have figured it out, but point is we get to, get into it sooner. But CHN's still holding on to the left-hand side. So what's going on here? Is this not refreshing, right? Because everyone on the left is visible, right? So all these guys burning have gotten hit, and they're getting speed hit over and over. Look at this. Boom, pop. So maybe there's not enough room over here. Oh, that's what's happening. There's not enough room on the right-hand side. There's too many ships on the map. So CHN can't even get to safety. They're getting squeezed out. Look at this. Oh, my God. Oh, they're screwed. And so they go to look at the map to try to move there to get somewhere safe. But NYC got players in here just bouncing people out. Oh, this is the real bloodbath. GameStop, sit down. Look at this. I wish Ark of War had a more active map so you can actually see what people are doing. Back in the day, when people weren't spending gold like crazy on Galactic Battle, you know, this didn't matter because people weren't gold jumping that much. The speed marching weren't that much. It was more of a slow strategic game. Now it's just, you just got to pay to be fast. It's got to, and you got to wait for the server and everything. Yeah. So people saying Peanut saying Black got way more viable when the new troops came out. Yeah, because he didn't have a lot of defensive options. All he had was that high defense stat, but he couldn't heal, right? So he couldn't use Run Menderbot because he needed destructive power for his damage. That's the only way what made him good. Yeah. Yeah, but the squeeze is on. NYC versus CHN. This is the squeeze, man. This is it. I think it doesn't give us a timer here, but it should. So what happened? Oh, they're defending. That's why. CHN holding on to their main base. So the timer hasn't started because NYC hasn't broken through and started holding it yet. And I don't know if they will. I don't know what their strategy is. They might just be regrouping. Yeah, they might just be regrouping and just saying, okay, we did what we wanted to do there. Let's just zero everyone now. You got to remember, you know, all these guys that are in this map and getting hit right now, yeah, sure, they've got Rangers to spare. You can't be on a top-level guild without, you know, at least 30, 50 million Rangers that you can take 5 or 10 hits, which actually isn't actually enough, but maybe it is, 5 or 10, yeah. But you're going to run out of troops eventually. And then they're going to start getting to the meat of your troops. And that's when it starts getting expensive. I mean, even killing Rangers isn't free, you know. You go through that metacrystal real quick. So if these guys start getting zeroed because they're on the visible side of the map, I mean, imagine zeroing 20 of their guys instantly. Well, we could check the points and see if there's been any ridiculous point shifts. Oh my God. This whole time, why didn't you guys tell me? I didn't have the chat turned on. Oh, I feel so bad now. Okay, well, we have it now. Welcome, chat, to the live stream. Let me see if I have everything else going. Yeah, that should be everything else, so. Desktop audio, mic check 1, 2. I probably should turn some music on, huh? Okay, there we go. Zero Cool, welcome back. You're not a new member, are you? Maybe the Streamlabs just getting caught up. All right, let's check the points. NYC finally is fully up now, even though they are the aggressor. 72 billion to 67 billion. Up 5 billion. Probably zeroing arcs now. And we'll turn that down a bit. All right. So what do we expect moving forward? Oh, okay. Wow. You know, I probably need to like uninstall Streamlabs and do this again. Hey, 20 bucks. I don't know if it's going to update the same as fast as I got it, but hey, man, thanks for the 20 bucks. I forgot we can get donations on this thing. That's awesome. But, yeah, so thanks for doing that, man. Zero Cool. Right on, bro. It's been a while. Didn't we say we were going to update your Pimp My Ark? I think we said we were going to do that. I think your Sky Kingdoms too, but I basically pulled out of Sky Kingdoms. I mean, I've been out of Sky Kingdoms for a long time. But I almost wanted to make it official because like I still like hang out in that group chat.
Zero Cool AOW has just donated $20 through Super Chat. So far so good. Go NYC.
I feel like my Streamlabs just isn't as smooth as it ought to be. I feel like it's got some hurdles still. King Kane? Wait, hold on. Zero Cool. Am I confusing you with... Did King Kane change his name, or did you join Zero? Oh, Zero Cool. ZRO. I guess... Oh, you've always been ZRO. Careful. I remember that. Yeah, people forgot about Sky Kingdoms, but they're still active, man. You know, they've got a group of good, solid players and good family players. Like, people that just really enjoy the community and the game. And it is a fun little whimsical game. It's still hardcore as shit. You know, it's like a teddy bear with razor sharp teeth, you know? Like, it's cute and cuddly, but don't kid yourself. That game will eat you alive. And it's the same as Ark of War with just pretty graphics. Not really pretty, huh? Kind of ugly. Where's Jinjo at? How come Sean's saying hi, Jinjo? I don't see Jinjo. Did someone mute Jinjo? Jinjo, oh, there he is. Hey, bud. How's it going? How's it going? Jinjo, where should people go to find more Ark of War related content? Right? I've been MIA for a lot of the last couple months. Where's a good place to go? People asking Jinjo, why don't you continue recording? Uberox! Where have you been? Can't believe this. Let me see. Let's see if we can get Uberox. What? Okay. Bear with me, guys. Okay. Bear with me. Okay. Oh, how long ago did you message me? Oh, just 5 minutes ago. Yeah, let's get Uberox in here. And that way we can kind of get caught up for a few minutes. Yeah, where are you, Uberox? Let's see. We're just going to give this a try. Live on the air. Let's see what happens. I'm worried about his sound coming through. Being too loud or not loud enough. Share your screen, turn on camera. Turn on... Ooh, I could do that. So I'm calling Uberox now. Let's see if we can't get him to answer.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
Yo, I've been watching the stream. I didn't want to interrupt you because you seem very passionate about GameStop.
Nah, don't start that. Don't start that. I already got in trouble.
Okay. Let's talk about Ark of War.
But GameStop, though. No. How you doing? How you been? How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Doing good, man. I was a little hesitant to get up at 4 this morning. 4 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bit early for me. But...
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for me, too.
Are you in Taiwan right now?
Indeed. Yeah.
What time is it right now in Taiwan?
Well, it's actually only 9 o'clock, but I had something to do, and then I came back, and I was like, oh, shoot, Galactic Battle.
Uh-huh.
And then I was watching your delightful commentary about absolutely nothing Ark of War related.
Yeah. In my defense, I made it like a half hour without talking about the current state of the market. So, but anyway, I want to say thanks for hitting me up and saying we should co-host. I always forget to do that. And I'm always so glad when I do have a co-host. We've had Badger and Deranged in the past, and it's always the best stream. So I'm glad you're finally here. I did put you in the thumbnail because I thought I'd be the one.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
have we got to see any interesting replays yet?
You're right. We do need more replays. Nothing. Go ahead.
I saw an Odad one with the tier 11 King build, and I thought, wow, Odad's using that. It must be pretty good.
Okay, where is that? I saw his march. I didn't see the action. Oh, there we go. So Wings of Eternity. It's got to be a sweet build. Hunting
Is it
Mind-
though?
I'm guessing probably not if you say it like that.
I think it might just be straight up damage.
Oh, it's bugged out.
I think this king build might be viable for T11 players.
Wings of Eternity, Mind's Eye, Virgo. He's popping off a lot of Virgos. Hercules, interesting. 792, no crit. Mind's Eye. You think it's just a tier 11 penetration build?
I believe so.
It's huge.
That's huge, right? I mean, think about it. If you're a T11 player and you don't have tier 12 yet, you could go this king build. This might actually be the optimal tier 11 build for fighting in galactic battle if you don't have tier 12 yet.
I would totally agree with that. I mean, undoubtedly for Walker commanders. But, I mean, airship commanders, they were trying to do this with black, right? They were destructive power black, trying to get your ramp this way. Airship doesn't have the advantage of using infantry's ridiculous damage based on its unit type, right? So infantry's hits 3 times harder than airships. You combo that on a Walker that if you miss, you do extra damage, right? Penetration goes through.
That Hancock, I mean, he has a big ass shield. I mean, you know, like even like a Dragon Slayer sometimes can't even break that. I mean, a full march could, but like it's difficult to break Hancock's shield.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. He's just hitting him with raw combat damage. Consider also definitely max leadership, max research, super high level
Yes.
gear. It's ODAD. So
He
results.
definitely has the level 50 penetration gear just straight up.
Yeah, results may vary. Wow.
But I mean, this might be the only instance that we get to see tier 11 in a GB finals or in like, you know, in a top GB battle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, outside of the Hancock Sui build, right? I think that's the only other place.
Right. But have we got to see Hancock's Sui build? Because I feel like Tear Space really brings down the power of it by a lot later, like, you know, at this level.
Yeah, that's a good point. Have we seen it? I thought I saw some Hancocks in there with tier. Whoa. You seeing this?
I'm seeing the Hancock getting wrecked.
Whoa, they changed. Remember how like the Galactic Battle map was always like just one server, and then depending on where you're at on it, like it would have different battlegfields.
Right.
Well, now, if you go to it, top left
Ooh.
corner is a capital, and then there's these crazy logos. I wonder if they intentionally did it like this to like hype up the main event.
That's a bug.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
I mean, it looks like I mean, what are those black squares?
Yeah, but no, you're supposed to look at the dazzling lights. Don't worry about the squares that don't make sense.
They're like, let's put some black squares and then we'll put some weird RGB things.
Oh yeah, they're going fast.
In case someone just scrolls to the side and they think that the battle's not exciting enough.
Mm-hmm. I think it's an Easter egg. I'm gonna go with that. So, what's been going on in your server, man? How's it been?
Well, 1211 is very peaceful. In fact, I'm losing a lot of guild members because players are just simply getting bored. We haven't had a server merge for 6 months or something like that, which is very odd considering that we have, you know, the top 30 spots are basically all our guild. So I've pretty much moved on to the next phase. During that one time that you spoke in a video about how you go through phases in Ark of War, and we've reached that next stage. And some players aren't happy. They wanna chase the old ways of playing, you know, capital battles, Centicon battle, tile wars, and all that stuff. But I've accepted the new phase of the game.
Damn. It hurts because that comes with losing people.
Yeah. Yeah, we've lost quite a few. But, it's such is the game.
Well, who's holding down the fort with you? Who are the other officers? Give them the shout-outs. Don't miss it this time.
Who are the other officers?
I know I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Um, you know, um, well, we have one guy. His name is D-Man. He loves to call everyone pervs, and he has an award that he gives out every week to someone called Perv of the Week.
Oh, what an
Yeah,
honor.
and what an honor.
What an honor. I kind of wish.
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead.
God, no, that's a great little meme to have. Canna from Sky Kingdoms does something like that where she hands out awards for the most active or best brags. Every week she sends out emails, lets everyone know in the group chat, hey, send out what they did. This is their coolest kill of the week. It's always cool to have someone like that keeps memes going and little nicknames and stuff. But Perv of the Week, man. Have you been Perv of the Week?
I think I got the award one time, but I'm not particularly after that award.
Well, speak for yourself. I mean, people are lining up now that it's out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone who's not doing Perv of the Week, you guys are doing something wrong in your
That's it.
guild. Come on,
Missing
step
out.
it up.
You're missing out. I'm kind of thinking about it. I kind of want the honorary title. It's like being called like barbarian on the server. It's like you don't need it every week, but to get it once.
Yeah.
So 12-11. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, this king right here, he does look like he's running Sui, right? But this is not Odad's. This is not Odad's. This is a different build.
Yeah. This is a coward's king march. Yeah.
Howard's King
Yeah.
March.
Yeah. Let's be honest. That other king build, straight huge balls.
Legit. Yeah, that was legit.
Yeah. This is like okay. Yeah. It's like why even send such a large march if you're hiding behind Sui? If it doesn't work, get out. But he also ran into 66, right? Let's not forget about... I haven't mentioned Bingo or 66 this whole time. 66, absolute legend, running Orochi here. Getting beat down by a king build.
He's losing, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely losing.
I thought the tear space would actually hit a lot harder, but it's not.
Yeah. Let's see. Orochi has to land the hit, remember? So, like... He's relying on guaranteed hit gems and skills. What is his fourth? Do we see?
Well, I'm not really looking at the fort right now because
I'm sorry.
it doesn't really seem like CHN really has a shot anymore. Although, it is possible to win with one fort down. Although, given the stack that is inside right now, it doesn't seem to be going to happen in this case.
Yeah, I meant the fourth skill, like is Orochi running dead shot, crush, because in order for the tear space, gotta land the hit.
If he's not triggering a fourth skill, it might be the new absolute defense. Which, by the way, what do you think about absolute defense?
I have not been active enough to actually analyze any of these new fourth skills, so I will defer to you.
I believe absolute defense is quite good. In fact, I think the best place to use it is actually junior peak. Since I moved to senior peak, I'll go ahead and tell everyone in the stream that because if you can get just 9 levels of it, wow, the increase in base defense is amazing for junior peak because there's no researches, there's no bonuses, right? So you just get straight up. You can just increase your defense by a lot.
Wow. Junior peak, the niche use for sure. For a fourth skill. That's fascinating. How many people are still playing competitive junior peak? That's, I was not expecting.
I moved out of junior peak a few last reset. And the top guys at junior peak are all running full march on all 3 commanders. So like they want to stay there for some odd reason or another.
Huh. Well, the king of the playground, the home ground
they
hero.
They want to be number 1.
That is like the embodiment of what this game is, right? Like,
right. You set your goals. And you got to be number 1 at something.
That's right. All right, coming back to the battle here, right side of the map, CHN is losing their second stronghold. Once this stronghold goes down in less than 2 minutes, Win will have complete vision. As of right now, Win has vision of the left-hand side, speed hitting, zeroing, burning all of CHN ships. They're constantly on the move. You can just see the whole left side of the map. These ships have nowhere to go. They're just stuck here getting bombarded, which is amazing aggression, non-stop action on Win's side to just keep pressure on these ships. They have really ignored the main base. The main base is not getting a lot of action here. Looks like CHN does have some commanders there just holding it down. They are focused all their efforts on the right-hand side. 1 minute going down. After this pops, they will have full vision. Ubrox, what do we expect?
It is over. Once you lose both strongholds, there's really no chance, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've been pretty aggressive and asserted their dominance. And once you have full vision of your opponent and they have no vision of you, you can choose your targets and everyone scatters like a bunch of mice under a piece
We
of
should
plywood.
go ahead and check out the replays. Maybe we can pick up some new meta tips, right? Because everyone's very secretive about their new builds. For example, this King build. That King build took out that Orochi with the new Tier 12, in fact, and the Tier Space.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, what do you think about those new Tier 12 troops?
I was so mixed on them because for one, they're not actually like tier 12. They're tier 12 and a half, right? They're a different unit value. They'd never done that before, which kind of throws off the basic concept of the math. Having a healing attribute has always been something that's been looked down upon because in this game it's better to do damage than to take damage. Of course, we know that with defensive stance and heals like Elf that there's a market for it. But then to give up tear space damage or give up the bonus damage from the tier 12 attack troops in the effort to preserve a healing troop, even if they are a little stronger, it just kind of like it doesn't redefine the meta, but it definitely fills a niche. And ultimately, I love it. Let me just say that there's so many more choices because of what it provides to the game, but also it adds so many more variables. It makes it hard to put a finger on things. So it's an easy shoe-in for Elf, easy shoe-in for Black, easy shoe-in for Orochi, at least in the front row. And infantry, right? Infantry definitely gets a play on it. Love it, but aren't they
tank troops that rely on tear space damage? That you lose so much tear space damage that it's actually it actually might be ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's quite. I believe that given their cost, their insane cost, I don't think that they are worth it. Which is actually it's good for the people who can't get it. But in terms of their stats, they do have higher stats. But if you look at their attack stats, it's actually not
has
very
just
high.
donated $20
Their
through
defense
Super
stat
Chat.
is the one that
Me
is
and my
insanely
father-in-law
high.
love
But
your
then
streams. We
I believe
both
the
play
interaction of tear
AOW. I am
space
still
with
new, but
defense
almost
is-
89.
I don't know how to
Walker
pause
Lane.
this, but
Keep
thanks for
up
the
the great
donation,
videos,
Tamos. I just cut Ubrox off so hard. You were making a great point. I'm sorry, Ubrox. Please continue.
Right. So the new tear space, the new troops, you're losing tear space, which is huge. They have huge defense stats, which is the main selling point. I'm not really sure how worth it that is, especially for its cost.
Yeah, and the other thing you mentioned, just the barrier of entry for price, which always comes into play for the average player. How much does it cost to get these tier 12 advanced troops? Thousands. It's not cheap.
Oh no, not thousands, tens of thousands.
Yeah, it's absurd, and it's like people that do spend $1,000 a week on this game, they may not notice how expensive those troops are because they just have so much hyperspace crystal banked over the last 2 years. But the people that are spending their hyperspace as soon as they get it as the next upgrade, the limiting reagent, they notice. And as an infantry main, to go and switch over to an infantry commander that could use the healing troops, it just throws everything I've been doing for a spin. It makes no sense for my build and my gear. So I'd have to rededicate the next couple months of my account to just building around the new troop type that I don't particularly think is that great for infantry compared to the current offerings in my playstyle.
And their damage is actually lower than the Great Sage. But, I think that It's okay. I'm happy that it's not really worth the cost because for how much they cost, they should actually be a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good for most people that it isn't.
Yeah. And I want to say NYC has successfully taken the right strongholds. The left side and right side now fully visible to NYC. CHN is officially on the run. They were unsuccessful in defending the left and the right, which means they are not going to be successful in defending the base when they can't defend their ships because they have no vision to hide behind. The fog of war is gone. This all but declares NYC as the winner. At this point, in the next minute to 2 minutes, players will be jumping out of the battle. NYC will be popping bottles of champagne, celebrating their hard-earned migration and victory, years in the making, weeks and months in the planning. NYC, History Guild, reinvigorated by all of the other English players and Asian players from around the world to take on CHN, the risen powerhouse that kind of formed after GBD and ALD merged, as well as TN1 and a few others. And there's been some stuff going on with other players, individual players and stuff. But ultimately, I would say this is a victory for the English-speaking players. TN1 also did have a lot of English-speaking players, but NYC is massively composed of the English-speaking players, which is exciting for me because this was always an Asian dominated game. And I feel like we finally got one for the little guys, even though I know we are definitely not the little guys.
Congrats to NYC. It's really tough for US-based players to wake up at this time. So for them to get together at this time and take out CHN, that is quite an accomplishment. Really is.
Yeah, and you know that like when they all did these merges, all these guys, every single one of these players came from family guilds, and probably 2-3 family guilds, leaving players behind that didn't spend as much, didn't play as much, but old friends, and saying, I'm going to this thing, I'm doing this endeavor, I want to go hard, I want to go for a win. It's a dream come true for a lot of them. This is my dream come true. I should have been here, but I knew it wasn't right. It was selfish of me to want to be a part of a guild I wasn't active enough in, to not have a troop or an army that was big enough in. And it hurts, but it was the right thing to do for the players, because for every player in these guilds, there's 4 players that want it more than I did, and they're not in the guild. So it's a sacrifice, an unfortunate sacrifice of Ark of War, but this is the way that the environment plays. And where do we go from here? Another merge, more guilds consolidating. What does Season 13 look like? I don't know.
What do you think is going to happen to NYC after this?
It's one of those things where, since I'm not on the inside looking out, if NYC, so everyone that's in NYC comes from a successful guild that kept them playing long enough to stay in the game. So you could have a group full of like the most charismatic, well-earning, free time, just guys that are just super fun to be around, and they might be like the funnest environment of all time, and they might stay another 5 years just because they've got all the best people in Ark of War that are the funnest to be around in one guild. Or you got a bunch of egotistical pricks that barely get along, they just wanted to win, and they're going to break up as soon as they get a chance. Or you got a half and half situation, right? Which is more likely the case, right? Some guys are jerks, some guys aren't, people get along, some don't. I think NYC does have a really strong foundation of like 3 factions. So worst case scenario, they break up in the off season and they keep reforming. Maybe some of them go to the enemy. But I think it's good. I think they're going to do really well. I know the players in it. I know the egos in it. And with Odad as a stabilizing force, I think they're going to do really well moving forward. Does Zero make top? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One thing I think that's really sad is that with GB being like the main thing that you do in Ark of War, the first 4 weeks of GB are really kind of crap.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any good matchups in the first 4 weeks, pretty much ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like, well, I mean, and that's like, yeah, you play the winner. If you won last week, you play someone who won last week too, right? Until it starts to settle out.
But for the last, I mean, you've been playing GB for a lot longer than I have, but for every single GB I've been in, the first few weeks, it's just either a huge stomp in one direction or another, the other.
Yeah, and I still experience that in Sky Kingdoms. They'll ask me to come in, same game, but I'll run in with my tier 9 and someone will show up with tier 12 and I'm just like, all right, that's the end of the game, guys. What are you going to do? You can't do nothing. But Bingo showed up. You see that? Bingo showed up today. He's still out there hitting ships. Battle's not over for him. Man.
They seem to want to make the most of whatever they can do right now, just to have fun.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for the Ark of War channel with Uberox?
I'm not really doing Ark of War videos. I feel like are you gonna keep on doing Ark of War videos? You said something earlier.
So so I said a couple things. I don't intend to do Ark of War videos at the pace I used to do them. And my ability to make Ark of War videos is being limited by my ambition to do other things. And my free time is not being spent on Ark of War. COVID's got me at home. I'm with the family and other hobbies and way more distractions. When I was stuck at work, I could do Ark of War all day. By the time I got home, I had my notes ready. I was filming. I'm already home. Instead of playing Ark of War, I go in the living room and pick my son up. So, I don't have any intentions to like re-dig into Ark of War at the pace I was. But I also don't have any intentions of leaving it behind. So I'm thinking what I'll probably do is because I've got a lot going on in my personal life. I talked about the retail space we're buying for the streaming office, which is also going to be a personal office. I've got a lot going on there, life-changing events that have my attention. And not that I couldn't do those things and still do Ark of War. It's that on top of another thing, on top of another thing. So I'm going to keep the channel open and keep an eye on things and kind of just keep my ear to the ground. I'm still online. I'm still on Discord. I'm still on email. And email comes in, it hits my phone immediately. It's like a text message. I don't have outstanding unread emails. I stay on top of every single email. So I'm not gone. I'm here. I just it's hard for me to pretend like I'm excited about Replay of the Week when a lot of the stuff is not exciting. And it's like, I'm not going to try and sell something just for entertainment purposes, unless that's just kind of where we're at. We want entertainment for the sake of entertainment. Like the Ark War community just needs stimulation, and I enjoy it. I just haven't. The passion wasn't there. So until it comes back, I'm just going to leave it open, and hopefully it does come back. But the game needs a bit of a rework, right?
I agree. You've been playing this game for 3 or 4 years now. And it's actually amazing that anyone can play a game for this long of a time. But I agree that it definitely needs some rework, some changes to make the game more exciting. Server battles need to have more incentives. Galactic Battle needs to have some changes that need to be made to it, I believe as well.
Yeah, and I want to eat my own words here because I always said this problem with this game is it's very polarizing. One character defines the meta. The elf healing defensive tear space build. Before that, the Rogers defensive build. Before that, the Golem crush damage build. Like with Thunders. This game was defined by eras, and I always thought that was a problem because the whole meta was defined by how to get around that commander. And now we've gotten to the point where we have so many gear, so many troops, so many commanders that any one build can kind of work on most of the defense comms or most of the penetration comms or offensive comms. So it's like now there's so many choices. It's a bit convoluted onto what's actually the best because there's so many rock, paper, scissors matchups. If you're playing one of the top 8 builds, you're going to be okay. So it's like, is that better or worse for the game? It's probably better for the game, but is it too little too late? Because now we've gone down these roads where the only viable infantry build was damage, damage, damage. Right now it's like, oh, you can do penetration Uberian, you can do tank Stella. Well, I've been building my ghillie for years. How do I switch? All of my resources are in my gear and my troops. I can't switch. So maybe, yeah.
I think the commander's situation is actually great. The issue is that there's not enough battling going on, right?
Yeah.
Like Galactic Battle's great. We're all tuning in to see it. Awesome. But it only happens once every 3 or 4 months. It's not enough, right? You can't keep your players engaged by only having this cool battle, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. And I think the developers need to do something about the community. I think we as a community did an amazing job of inspiring people to create videos like myself, like Mandalore, like Suave, to start it off. And then as that carried on, you, Deranged, give me some names, Natsu, who am I forgetting? I always hate doing this, Jinjo. But the Ark of War YouTube channel finally started doing Commander Spotlight videos, which we fought for years. Offered to do it for them, tried to get information on them, but when they have a galactic battle event like this, dude, you're gonna make 50 grand. Throw down 100 grand, get a hotel, invite people out, host your own live stream, get a paid commentator, make it an event. Don't just cash the check and be like, we deserve this. It's like, no, growth. If you believe in the game, invest in the game, right? And it's like, it just doesn't feel equal on their sides. Occasionally they'll send out trophies now. They send out trophies now if you win, you get a little award. It comes it literally takes 3 months to get to you. But I think Roxanne sent me an image of hers. But it's not, and I shouldn't say that it's on the developers to do this, right? We as a community, if it's worth it to us, we'll do it, and we did. You look at a company like Nintendo, if they have a great product launch, Zelda, a Mario, they don't have to throw a party for it. It is good. People are gonna play it. People are gonna celebrate it. People are gonna talk about it. But
they tried to run an event where they asked people to stream Galactic Battle, but I think one of the issues with Galactic Battle streaming is that it is difficult to spectate. It is very difficult.
Oh yeah, big time. Totally right. Yeah, it's difficult
the way that it's set up and everything.
Yeah, I mean, just even click around the screen, even it's really just not. It does not look very intuitive. It looks like a 1990s game. A struggle to get anywhere. But if you know your way around,
they have the playback with the replays, but it's difficult to see where did this battle happen? What battle is actually happening, right? It'd be cool if maybe after a battle happens, you could instantly just click on the replay and see what happened.
Right. Most recent battles, biggest losses, filter by most losses in the last 5 minutes. And it's 0 reports if someone gets hit really hard. Yeah, it's almost
like when
it's like this. You're in a helicopter and you're flying over a war zone. You got 1,000 cavemen on one side and 1,000 cavemen on the other, and you're looking down. And there's trees everywhere and bushes, but you can see the caveman with the brown hair colliding the caveman with the blonde hair, and you see the clubs going back and forth, and someone's winning and losing, and there's some legendary battles going on, but you're just in a helicopter 300 yards up. We want to be on the ground. We want an up-close personal view. We want to see the club going over the head, high-end details. And we're not getting it. We're just getting the overhead. I don't know about the caveman analogy. I tried, though.
It was good. It was good. Maybe not cavemen, spaceships. A bunch of spaceships shooting each other.
Thank you. That made yeah. Why didn't I think of that? Right. Imagine if Star Trek didn't take place inside of the ship and all you could see was the outside. You could just see little humans talking inside. You're like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about?
Well, have you watched an EVE Online battle with all these lasers everywhere? That's kind of what we're looking at right here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's like an EVE Online battle, but further away and not as cool looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's and I don't know, though. I mean, I don't know how to code something like that. I don't know if that's a realistic request. I don't know if, the whole point of this game is just to focus on the domination portion, the physical representation of your... is it more of just a game of Go, where you're just taking over real estate? Hey, we moved our ships onto your left side. Now we have vision of your left side. Maybe they should focus more on quadrant-placed games, where you can be more strategic. Remember we talked about... I don't know who was that. Was it Deranged? I forget who it was. But... I don't know. I've talked about it with a couple of people, but basically it's what if there was specified roles in Galactic Battle, not just, hey, you take your ship from your server and fight it here. It's no. There's literally team rosters. You can get 3 scouts, 3 assassins, 3 jumpers that have free jumps, different defined roles. I know that just changes the whole game, but at this point, it needs something. Just don't
Right.
know.
Well, I mean, baby steps. I think the easiest thing would just make Galactic Battle easier to watch because when I was editing my Galactic Battle video so that people could actually watch it, I had to do a ton of editing just to make it watchable so people could see, oh, this guy just won this battle at this stronghold. Here's the battle. Whereas here it's like, oh, I can't even find it.
Yeah. I want to point out something. CHN has not backed off their fort. So NYC took both strongholds as full vision, is zeroing and burning everyone. But CHN is holding their fort. So they're just fighting for the fun of it. But there's... I mean, should we go check the strongholds on NYC side? Did they actually make a... Oh, no. They didn't make a move. What do you think? They're just, like you said, playing for fun?
Well, if everyone has these max lead comms and you can only put one comm inside the stronghold and you got one on your ship and maybe one on someone else's arc, theoretically you might be able to somehow, some way catch up in points and win on points, maybe, or maybe it's just for fun.
Yeah, Fire's saying it's hot in here. Every single ship on the other side is burning. I think it's just for fun. They didn't want this battle to end so soon. People might have shown up late. What time is it right now? And you said it's 9:00 p.m. in Taiwan?
Yeah, I mean, you might, you waited 3 months or 4 months for this battle to give up after just an hour. It's just, I mean, you're not going to have another chance at this for quite a while. And plus, a lot of times when these guilds, when you lose, a lot of people are going to move. I mean, not to say that CHN is going to break up. I don't really know much about them, but it's possible
Yeah.
that they may not be the same CHN next season.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, right? A lot of members of CHN were TN1 last season. They're definitely migratory power players, I think. But I don't think there's a resentment because of that. I think just like, hey, we're coming up to, we're joining the raid, to go pillage and loot and plunder, but when the raid's over, we're going back home. And that's like a Vikings thing because I've been watching that show with my wife, so there you go. But, yeah, I think at
Back
this...
to the commanders. I think Elf seems to be like the dominant commander right now. Would you agree with that?
I don't think you could argue any other way. She's definitely top 3. You're seeing, still see Rogers, right? Still getting Rogers, but Elf with the tier 12 troops up front, and TerraSpace in the back. I mean, probably seen more of that than anything else. We didn't get to see the War Machine replays, but I do think he's excellent.
Right, yeah. What do you think about War Machine? Because his skill is like tear space, but it's 90% instead of 20%, which, given how hard tear space hits, theoretically, War Machine should be insane.
So, it's weird that the skill reads unimpressively, and it doesn't seem all that impressive in concept. But in practice, it's actually very powerful. And if you watch the YouTube channel with the War Machine Spotlight, a 7 Pirates release, which I think is actually a very good video, it screams potential. But to me, it also screams new gear, new troops.
Right. So do you think that the reason we haven't seen him right now is because he's just too new and too expensive? Or is it just that, or people just don't want to try something new like in the finals?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been active enough in Galactic Battle playoffs to see who's been pushing him and trying it. I think part of it might be that the Elf meta is still so strong, he may not be a viable counter to Elf. I don't remember offhand.
That is true. I mean, we all know how strong tear space is, right? And so a skill that is almost 5 times stronger than tear space should actually be just absolutely bonkers. But for some reason, we haven't seen him at all. I can't find a replay of him yet right
I
here.
found one. As we said that, I found one. And I don't know who it is. It's a big player. I just don't know who it is. It's not one of the 2 I know. But he's going off against a Hancock. And he's running the tier 12 HP troops. Terraspace, Sagittarius. Combat damage isn't that high. Terraspace is not that high either. Wings of Eternity, Andromeda.
Yeah, that's kind of weak.
Yeah. Overspeed Operations? What is that? Is that the infantry passive? Or is that his second skill?
Overspeed increases damage that they take, and then the radiation cannon is the tear space.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right, the combo effect.
The damage is very low. I wonder what this guy's gear is.
I wonder if Hancock has some sweet gear too. Just even partial because the melee hits are super weak.
Well, you wouldn't build melee on him, right? Because you want to take the full, you want to take full advantage of his tear space skill, or the radiation cannon skill. I'm just surprised. He should be dealing tear space plus radiation cannon, which should be 110% of his health. So I'm not really sure why it's not doing that.
Okay. I wish we could see the gear. Because, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense here. This is, but
This is a bit underwhelming. I like the king build better. I'm going for the king build on my own arc.
Yeah, are you? Have you started, or are you just playing?
I'm working towards it, right? Because I'm still a bit away from tier 11, but when I get to tier 11, that seems to be the optimal build. And I mean, look, it was doing better, right? That king wrecked that Hancock, and this Hancock is he doesn't look like this War Machine's gonna win.
The War Machine did come through the victory there. Popped through the top row.
Okay, yeah, he did. But not as convincingly, and considering his cost and everything.
Right. But his cost, yeah. The troops weren't that expensive, at least. That could be caught in a confused state. The damage received is increased by 1%, 60%. Wow, okay. Additional damage on the target. Yeah. I don't know. I think, yeah, I need to re-up on my War Machine game, but to me, it's like whenever these new commanders, Black Widow came out, War Machine came out, and I'm like, oh, these could be interesting, these could be interesting. It's like, yeah, in order to make this change, I run into the same problem I had with Tank Stella or Hubarian, the last two infantry commanders I wanted to pursue. I'm not ready to throw all my gear away and my troops, and I'm not ready to invest the 5,000 or 10,000 just to get caught up to where I was. So it's kicking the balls, man. Because like you want to play, you want to try, but it's like, hey, if you want to play, you got to spend. It's like how much? $50? No, like $5,000. Like fuck.
Right. Well, War Machine definitely needs like the Tank Stella build to go. So if you don't have that, then that's going to be a problem. But I'm just surprised that a 90% skill, like it reads like tear space, but 90% instead of 20%, which we know how hard tear space hits. This thing should be insane.
Hitting
But
bombs,
as we
yeah.
saw when it hit Hancock, it didn't hit that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and this other Chinese player has a War Machine running the tier 12 attack troops. That doesn't make sense. Trying to get max value out of his second skill.
I don't think that's a good idea because his second skill, it's a 30%, and it increases the damage that they take. But I mean, there are a lot of skills that increase your damage that by a lot more.
All right. Well, Uberox, I want to wrap this thing up here in the next couple of minutes. I got to get my day started. It looks like CHN is going to hold out for some time. It's very possible they could flip the switch and go after NYC and try to go for a win, but NYC is extremely organized. I think they've got it in the bag, and I'd be happy to prematurely declare NYC as the winner and hopefully help encourage CHN to get out of the game. But they can do whatever they want. They earn their spot to be here and fight and battle it out. But I would like to wrap it up and get my day started. So if you want
Very good.
Yeah, I want to say, thanks for joining me here. If you have any other messages or if you want to link your channel, could someone link Uberox's YouTube channel for Ark of War stuff? He's done a lot of great content and probably will continue to do more as time goes on.
No, it's good. I'll probably be uploading something to the official channel or something. That's pretty much what I'll be doing. So I'll see you later, Mel, and I hope you do more Ark of War stuff in the future. And congratulations to NYC for their victory. Very nice, very good.
Excellent. Are you still working with the community rep over there on Ark of War to get stuff on their main channel?
I haven't talked to them for a while, but they have their offer open
Okay.
to be sending videos over to them. So I might do like a top Commanders video, for the meta since it's changing.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Let me know, and we'll use the channels to get it out to everyone. And as always, keep more eyes on the community. The more videos, the more creators, the more content, the more dialogue, the better the game does, the better it is for the players. Take a minute, share with your guild and friends. And yeah, so thanks for joining me. And
thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks, Melt.
Yep, thanks everyone who joined us for this stream, and thanks for being a part of this community. I forgot to say it this time, but usually in every stream I tell people, when we started this thing out, seasons 1 and 2, it was just me alone sitting on a phone thinking, God, where is everyone playing this game? And over the years, it turned into live streams and videos and Patreons and just Discords, and it's exploded into this thing. It's like a dream come true, and it's like honestly a great pleasure of mine and a privilege to be able to host these events for all of us to come together and watch these live streams. Even if it is at 4 in the morning and our viewers are still asleep, at least they'll be able to touch the VOD later and be able to be a part of it and experiment with the new builds they're seeing and be a part of this history. Because what people don't realize is a year from now, 6 months from now, you'll come back and watch this video and say, what was the meta back then? What were they attacking with? How were they doing it? And right now, it's defense comms with tier 12 HP and heal troops, a lot of tank comms, and massive super guilds migrating from multiple servers to one server. What you have is NYC is a conglomerate of 3 or 4 major guilds. CHN is a conglomerate of 3 or 4 major guilds. And it's super fleet versus super fleet. Winner take all strategy is the key here. NYC delivered, did it quick, less than 2 hours. Basically now they're just playing for fun. Still could have a turnaround if something crazy happened, but this one 99% in the bag for NYC. They didn't lose a single stronghold. They took the other 2. And I think that wraps it up. So thank you, chat. Thank you, Uberox. And thanks, everyone, for being here. That's it.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Stay safe.
All right. Wrap this thing up. I always feel weird about wrapping the stream up. I feel like it always feels rushed, like there's still something to be said. I kind of feel like chat maybe 30 seconds behind. But shout out to Rizel, man. You've been an amazing supporter of this channel. Are you still in NYC? Rizel was in NYC, right? Old school NYC. I don't know. All right, let's wrap it up. I think that's everything. Ubrox, thanks for dipping in and making that great commentary and adding your insight. And I look forward to what you're doing. So,
Melt. Take care.
All right. I know you keep saying.